Alright guys, so Apple just released the brand new iPad Air 5th generation with the M1 chip. And this is the same chip that powers the 2021 iPad Pro. With improved internals and charging speeds, there aren't a whole lot of differences when looking at the exterior compared to the iPad Air 4th generation that I have right here. That being said, if you are on the market for a powerful new iPad, but don't want to spend a couple $100s extra for the newest Pro models, then I do think right now is a great opportunity to pick up the new Air. Now, if you already have the iPad Air 4th generation like myself, there really isn't a huge incentive to upgrade to the new 5th generation, despite the double the charging speeds and the new internals, unless you are really needing that extra power. The reason I say this is because we still have this awesome 10.9-inch liquid retina display. They both have Touch ID and the power button, and the battery life is just about the same as well, with Apple claiming up to 10 hours on both the 4th generation iPad and the 5th generation. But let's talk about what did get improved here, because Apple definitely made this iPad better with the same retail price at $599. And the only exterior change that Apple made to the new lineup of the Air is some new colors, including space gray, pink, purple, blue, and starlight, which all look stunning. And most of these colors are found on the iPad mini, except this new blue color, which I am really excited to get my hands on. And internally, there are quite a few things Apple has updated, including the M1 chip, which I mentioned earlier, giving this baby a 60% increase in CPU performance and double the graphics performance, all within the same very thin, compact form factor. And speaking of increased speeds here, Apple did bring 5G to the new Air as well, which of course you will have to pay an extra $150 for, but if that's something you really need and you think is useful, then you will have increased speeds when you're in areas with 5G, and it'll just make your user experience a little bit better. And when it comes to the cameras, we still have the same 12 megapixel camera on the back here, but we now have a 12 megapixel ultra wide camera on the front, versus this iPad Air 4th generation has a 7 megapixel camera, which honestly is not the best. So a 12 megapixel camera is a nice upgrade. And we also have center stage, and center stage, whenever you are on FaceTime, it keeps you in frame a little bit better while you're moving around with people around you. And guys, these are really the only things that have been updated with this new iPad Air 5th generation, so there isn't a whole lot to talk about. We still have USB-C charging, Touch ID, the same display, the same form factor, and all of the accessories work the same as well, like the Apple Pencil, the different cases, and so forth. So which iPad Air should you buy in my opinion? Well, if you already have the iPad Air 4th generation like myself, I am personally not going to be upgrading because I don't really need any extra power, and I just use this as a kind of a secondary device to my MacBook, so I'm not looking for a ton of power. And this device within itself already has a bunch of power, and I'm super happy with it. But if you don't already have an iPad Air and you don't want to spend a couple $100 extra bucks for the Pro models, then I think the new iPad Air 5th generation is a incredible deal, since it's the same retail price as this was, and you're getting that new M1 chip, and all the internals are better. You get that front-facing camera, which is improved from a 7 megapixel camera to a 12 megapixel camera. So it's definitely an upgrade from this model. Plus, you will be getting double the charging speed with the new 5th generation as well. And unless you find an absolute smoking deal on an iPad Air 4th generation while retailers are trying to clear out the inventory, I would definitely advise you to just go ahead and get the new iPad Air 5th generation from Apple. If you guys have any questions, or if there is something I didn't talk about with the new iPad Air, let me know in the comments down below, and I will try my best to get back to you. With that being said, I will see you guys in the next one. Peace!